My grandfather's will was simple. The ranch was mine, all 500 acres of it, a sprawling expanse of rolling hills and ancient oaks that had been in our family for generations. I'd barely had time to process his passing when the first letter arrived, embossed with the crest of the Oakwood Estates Homeowners Association. It was a welcome letter followed by a list of bylaws and a bill for community landscaping. I laughed. My ranch wasn't part of their manicured suburban dream. I ignored it. That was my first mistake. The letters kept coming, each more demanding than the last. Then came Karen, the HOA president, in her pristine SUV that looked offensively out of place on my graveled driveway. She informed me that a recent rezoning had absorbed my property into their jurisdiction. She pointed to a new, freshly paved road at the edge of my property line. "That road," she said with a smug smile, "makes you one of us." She then handed me a consolidated bill for over $100,000, citing everything from unapproved fencing to the color of my barn. The fight was on. I hired a lawyer, but the rezoning was, on paper, legitimate. The HOA had pushed it through the county council quietly. They started sending contractors to my property, trying to enforce code by tearing down a century-old stone wall. I had them escorted off by the sheriff, but it was a temporary victory. The HOA was strangling me with fines and legal fees. They wanted my land, and they were using their rulebook to bleed me dry. My grandfather, however, was a man of foresight. He loved this land more than anything. One evening, while poring over his old journals, I found a cryptic entry. "If they ever come for the land, remember the water. The heart of this ranch runs deeper than they know." It led me to a series of old geological surveys and a deed that was far older than the county itself, a deed that included water rights and a detailed map of the underground aquifers. That's when I understood the ground shifting wasn't just a metaphor. The entire Oakwood Estates development was built on a geologically unstable area, a fact the developer, in collusion with the HOA, had buried. The new road Karen was so proud of, it had disrupted a critical underground water channel. Armed with this knowledge, I didn't just fight back. I orchestrated their downfall. I commissioned a new, comprehensive geological survey. The results were damning. The land was prone to subsidence, and the entire development was at risk. The final blow came during a town hall meeting. As Karen was delivering a triumphant speech about community standards, I presented my findings. I showed them the original deeds, the water rights, and the geological survey that proved their multi-million-dollar homes were built on a ticking time bomb. The ground had shifted, not under my feet, but under theirs. The fallout was immediate. Lawsuits flew, not at me, but at the HOA and the developer. The rezoning was invalidated, the HOA was dissolved in scandal, and I watched from my porch as the for sale signs went up all over Oakwood Estates, my grandfather's legacy secure. The ranch was safe, and the silence was finally restored.